Advent, the 6th of December. Isaiah chapter 42, verses 1 to 6. Isaiah has sometimes been called the fifth gospel. Such are the number of prophecies recorded within the book of the coming figure who would restore the relationship between God and humanity. Isaiah lived and died before his people were defeated and exiled to Babylon, and many of his prophecies are warnings of the coming calamity. His writings overflow with brutally searing condemnation of the injustice and idolatry he witnessed, the neglect and exploitation of the poor and vulnerable, alongside empty, dead worship filled with hypocritical platitudes.
When you come to worship me, who asked you to parade through my courts with all your ceremony? Stop bringing me your meaningless gifts. The incense of your offerings disgust me. When you lift up your hands in prayer, I will not look. Though you offer many prayers, I will not listen. For your hands are covered with the blood of innocent victims. Wash yourselves and be clean. Get your sins out of my sight. Give up your evil ways. Learn to do good. Seek justice. Help the oppressed. Defend the cause of orphans. Fight for the rights of widows. Isaiah 1:12-17.
Amongst this searing condemnation of the society around him and his cries for spiritual, social and economic regeneration, he warned of the tragedy of exile that was coming. But he also spoke of the hope of what would come after. It was because of this that the generations in exile poured over his prophecies, clinging to them like a drowning man to a life raft. Isaiah reminded them that the period of exile was not the end, and that God's chosen servant was coming, who would redeem Israel. Isaiah promised that this coming figure would do more than just redeem Israel, however. Isaiah confidently predicted that this figure would suffer for the rebellion of all humanity, and that he would save not just Israel, but those who followed him from every nation. The promise to Abraham would be fulfilled in him, with the blanket of separation between God and humanity that had fallen like a curtain at Eden being torn from top to bottom through his sacrifice. In one prophecy, Isaiah predicted,
Look at my servant whom I strengthen. He is my chosen one who pleases me. I have put my spirit upon him. He will bring justice to the nations. He will not shout or raise his voice in public. He will not crush the weakest reed or put out a flickering candle. He will bring justice to all who have been wronged. He will not falter or lose heart until justice prevails throughout the earth. Even distant lands beyond the sea will wait for his instruction. Isaiah 42:1-4.
Isaiah died before seeing the exile he warned of. He died long before the coming of this figure. But 600 years after Isaiah proclaimed these promises, a man did come. A man who, like Isaiah, utterly condemned injustice, disgusted with the neglect the wealthy and powerful showed the vulnerable, and scathing in his criticism of the dead hypocrisy of the religious leaders of his time. A man who did not crush the weakest reed, spending time with and extending mercy and love to those who are bottom of the pile, those who saw themselves as irredeemable, as lost, as broken, as fallen, as sinners. He afflicted the comfortable and comforted the afflicted. As Isaiah predicted, he experienced appalling suffering because of his words and deeds, with the powerful and corrupt seeking to silence him and the threat he embodied. They were not to have the final word. 2,000 years later, individuals from every nation count themselves as his followers. As we approach Christmas, remembering the birth of this man promised by Isaiah, he still calls the nations to account, demanding justice. And he still ministers to the weakest reeds and flickering candles, to those who feel broken by this life, to those whose faith wavers, To those who feel they are ignored and small in the eyes of a world which lauds the rich, the powerful, the cruel and the arrogant, while trampling over so many. And he insists that the darkness will not win. That there are deeper truths than those drunk on the poison of unjust wealth and oppressive power this world offers can never understand. He offers life. Jesus still stands at the door and knocks.